Hello and welcome to Miles Analysis. Today, I will be sharing with you my picks for this week's NFL games.
Scrimmage on a regular play. I know you're talking special teams.
No, I wasn't talking about this is why you kick it on third down, though, because if it is a drop,
all right,
do it again.
Here we go. This could be a sentence that a month ago would sound incomprehensible. From 31 yards, McPherson, and Cincinnati is heading to the Super Bowl. The lob for Butler, he did it! Jimmy Butler put it in with 0.3 of a second left and got fouled.
Hello and welcome to Miles of Analysis. Today I will share with you my top picks for this week's NFL games. First off, we got Broncos at Buccaneers. Broncos, new QB Bo Nix and losing their top wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. Starting out 0-2, not the best. Although we now have the Buccaneers starting at 2-0 with their new and improved QB, Baker Mayfield, good as ever. Next we have Packers at Titans. Packers could be without Jordan Love, game time decision right now. And then starting out 1-1. Then we have the Titans, kind of same as last year, Will Levis at QB, DeAndre Hopkins, wide receivers. They're pretty decent. I'm going with Packers. Oh, and on the first one, Bucks. Now we have Giants at Browns. Giants, probably one of the worst teams in the league right now, playing the Browns. Browns are going to be with Michael Garrett, although he's dealing with the same injury in both feet. Whereas the Giants, Daniel Jones coming off a torn ACL, and they also acquiring in the first round of this year's draft, Malik Neighbors. I'm picking Browns only because Daniel Jones is going to get rushed and he's the sloppiest QB right now. Then we have Panthers Raiders. Panthers recently benching Bryce Young and are going to start Andy Dalton. Something had to happen between Sunday's game and Monday, because on Monday they announced that he was benched, and on Sunday the whole team was saying he's our QB no matter what happens, he's our QB, and then Monday benched him. Something happened. Raiders have QB Gardner Minshew and new tight end Brock Bowers also acquired in the first round of this year's draft. I'm going with Raiders. Dolphins at Seahawks. Seahawks starting 2-0 and Dolphins 1-1. Dolphins are going to be without Tua Tagovailoa after sustaining his fourth concussion in 3 years. And Seahawks, Geno Smith at QB, and are going to be without George Fant after him being placed on IR for foot problems. 49ers at Rams. Okay, so 49ers are going to be without George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Chardavius Ward, Christian McCaffrey, and Deebo Samuel. I think their team's probably the most banged up in football there is right now. Already 2 players on injured reserve, Christian McCaffrey, one of them, had a ton of potential. If you drafted him in fantasy, I'm sorry for you. He's not going to be that good this season. Looks like he's been having a ton of calf and Achilles problems, and I don't think they're going to be better by the end of the season. Playing the Rams. Rams also kind of banged up, losing their top 2 wide receivers, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. This is probably going to be quite a fair game. I'm going to say it goes to overtime, and I say Rams win in overtime. Then we have the Ravens at Cowboys. Ravens starting out 0-2 after a surprising loss to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Raiders. Raiders, as I talked about before, playing the Panthers. And then we also have the Cowboys. Cowboys starting out 1-1, also not looking so good. You might think, since they're right now just about at 500, you might think they'd be doing that well, but if you look at the stats, it's not happening. Darren Bland is not going to be playing this game. Dak Prescott, after getting that huge extension at the beginning of the season, not looking so good, so on and so forth. Then we have Lions at Cardinals. Cardinals beating the Bills in week 1 and having a surprising game last week. And then the Lions, as always, Jared Goff, no key injuries. I'm picking Lions. Then we got Texans at Vikings. Texans going to be without Joe Mixon after yesterday it was proved that he was not going to be able to play in this game. Mixon, formerly a Bengal, got traded to the Texans in the offseason this season. And then we have the Vikings. Vikings losing QB J.J. McCarthy after he got injured in preseason towards meniscus. And now you have that QB playing for the Vikings. I'm going with Texans, even though they don't have their lead running back. Then you got Chargers and Steelers. Chargers are going to be with Justin Herbert, even though he has a high ankle sprain. I think big mistake. Nothing's going to happen with him. He's going to play horrible. And Steelers. Steelers, I think, have some potential this season. Justin Fields, decent QB. Russell Wilson, we don't know what's happening with him right now. He's got some kind of calf problem. But I'm going to pick Steelers for this game. Then you got Eagles at Saints at 1 p.m. Saints starting at 2-0, looking crazy. Highest scoring team in the NFL right now. Against the Eagles. Eagles upset loss last week to the Falcons. I'm going to go with Saints. Saints got all the potential. Alvin Kamara, QB Derek Carr. And then Eagles, Saquon Barkley might do something, but if you're fantasy, make sure that you have him. You might think that since I'm going with the Saints, that he's not going to be good, but don't think that. He's still going to have a good game against the Saints defense. Then you got Jaguars at Bills tomorrow, 7:30. Jaguars going to be without Evan Ingram after he sustained an injury in pregame warm-ups of last game. Horrible thing against the Bills. Bills starting out 2-0, pretty decent. I'm going to go with the Bills for this game. Then we have one more game from today. We got Ravens and Cowboys, which I already talked about. And then we have Commanders at Bengals. My favorite team, if you don't know yet, the Bengals, are having the Commanders in town. Bengals starting out 0-2, even though having a pretty stacked up team. Having a surprising loss to the Kansas City last week, and the week before that, surprising loss to the Patriots. I think they come out with the win in this one. Commanders, Brian Robinson. If you have him on your bench, start him right now. Then you got Chiefs at Falcons. Falcons getting their first win of the season last week against the Eagles, stopping them with that crazy pick as time expired. And I'm going with Chiefs in this one. Chiefs beating the Bengals last week with a field goal in the finishing seconds, and then beating the Ravens in week 1. And those are my picks for today. Hope you do great in fantasy.